yesterday I told you, see friends, the reason I love statistics is it's so pure and so perfect. It is not concerned with your playing with the games, those sort of games human beings play. Stats is not affected by that. If I am working on his idea of stress among boys and girls. Okay. Before starting, he says I n 25, so degree of freedom is 24, level of significance 5%, and let's say table value is given to be 2.01. I don't know whether this value, but let's assume. Now let's see, he start his work with a directional hypothesis. Girls are in more stress. Girls exert more stress than boys. Emma 2011. Right? This is the way we'll write, and Jan 2010. So girls exert more. It means there is a significant difference. In other words, does it mean there is a significant difference between the stress level of boys and girls? When I say girls exert more stress, it means there is a significant difference. And further, girls exert more stress. Two things are there. So when we say girls exert more stress or significantly more stress than boys, it means okay, there is a difference. Now his calculated value comes at 1.9. Please tell two things first, whether there is a difference in the level or not, stress level? No. And what about the hypothesis, accepted or rejected? Rejected. Correct? Check it again. Are you with me? Yes. Calculated value comes 1.9. Table value is given 2.10. It means this is the maximum level because of chance that can come. So his was this. So we say come to this later on. First look for whether the things are different or not. Just like small kids. Go for the real. Real thing is whether the things are different or are the same. If it is 1.9, it means it is less than our expectation. It means there is no significant difference. Now what the hypothesis was saying? It was saying there is significant difference. I will say this hypothesis is rejected because my data doesn't substantiate. My data is not supporting this. Now take another case. If he says I will work on null hypothesis, there is no significant difference between boys and girls stress level. There is no significant difference between the boys and girls stress level. If that is the case and everything else is the same, T value comes out as 1.9. What is the interpretation? Difference is there or not? It's not there. Hypothesis accepted or rejected? Accepted. So you see, it's immaterial. Whatever way you will write, answer will never change. Have you noted this thing? It's simply playing with the words. You make this much, this much. Reality is there is no difference, and that will always be same. You can never twist it. You just play with your words. You write this, you accept, you write this way, reject, etc. I always say look for the small kids. Just like the small kids, you tell me, are the two things same or different? Just focus on that. So here we will find both are the same. If they are the same, there is no difference absolutely. Whatever way you can write it, that's independent. Truth will not change. Truth will never change. And that's the beauty of stats. Am I clear about it? Do you get the meaning of t-test or not? Table value. Whatever table value you refer to. Now 2-3 things, are you able to build that blocks? Number 1, difference means test. Yes. Number 2, test means a table value. Number 3, table value means this is the maximum difference permissible. That's why when the calculated value is less than table value, we say no significant difference. Just one step ahead, now we are working on system. In system, they will give you p value, probability value. See, one of the limitation with this is, will the result change or can the result change if I opt to work on the 6% level of significance? Can it change? this value may change 6%. If I prefer to work on the 10%, this value will change. The limitation with this is every time you need to find a book and a table, and if you look at the table, they have given you for 5%, 10%, they had not given you 11%, that you need to calculate manually. So now we have systems gives you a p value, probability that the two things are same, and the rule is if p value is greater than 0.05, no significant difference. Probability value greater than 0.05, then no significance. Yeah, beta, any doubt?
Sir, I couldn't get through this
This one?
just said, yeah.
Okay. And if anybody from this side volunteer to explain what is meant by accepted, rejected? We have taken two scenario. If somebody says, review says girls exert more stress, okay, the review is, the reference is also mentioned, and our value is this, what will be our interpretation? In this case, just let's check one by one. Number one, calculated value is less than table value. Table value is maximum permissible difference because of chance. So it means this much difference in boys and girls I was expecting.
That's okay, sir. So
Okay.
we have always taught that we always take null hypothesis first and we write there is no difference. And we
You were told these things when you were in PG.
Yeah.
I think you have come much ahead of that.
So, sir, can we write this any kind of like alternate hypothesis first and check the thing?
Okay. I told you yesterday that we will write only the directional hypothesis, never the null hypothesis. In real life scenario, when you go for the review of literature, after review you formulate a hypothesis, and what is hypothesis? Simply relation between the variables, and only limitation is for this you need to mention who said it. For the null I have not mentioned any reference. Okay. In the college time you are told about null hypothesis only, and null hypothesis accepted or rejected. I am just taking you just one point ahead, that if you take this, my claim is truth will not change. If you write this way, t value comes 1.9, so you will say no significant difference, and you will say this hypothesis is rejected. If you had taken null hypothesis, this would have been accepted. Truth will be same in either cases, but in real life cases we work on this. But my point was simply that you take this much or this much, truth will not change. This is the, so just be sure of, stats is very powerful, very robust. Whatever way you try to manipulate, it won't spot you. It will just go with the truth, whether the things are different or not. It looks only this much. In PG we teach this thing. You can ask why we teach these things, because the students do not have that sort of mental caliber to understand the research process, and they are more concerned about the marks and the numericals. Research, now you go for the review, you understand the variables relation, so you can better understand these things. Finally, the p value greater than 0.05, it means no significant difference. So please look for Excel, SPSS, SAS. You make a click, they will give you values. They will give you this value also, calculated value, and they will give you this value also. They will give you both of the values. So just remember, p value greater than 0.05 means no significant difference. Okay. Let's take a break here for tea, and after the tea we will commence with the